you can control your narrative.
Welcome. In today's video, we're going to react to a KingAzoulay video, and at the very end, we have a clip that's going to explain why this video is very important. So let's get this video rolling.
My name is KingAzoulay.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for an interview today. First off, is King your actual name?
No, my real name is Ben Dover. I changed my name to King because I am a descendant of King Solomon, and also because I don't want people to Google my real name.
And why don't you want people to Google you?
I can't talk about that.
So did you get your name legally changed to King?
No, I just want people to call me that.
Well, that's stupid, but statistically, any of us could be a descendant from King Solomon. Do you guys have anything else in common?
Yeah, I have a beard.
Okay.
This sounds just like KingAzoulay saying that he grew out his beard when he found out that he was a descendant from Solomon, and that he changed his name to King because he found out that he was a descendant from Solomon. All those are not verified, but he's always making up lies, so no one believes him. But one thing we can learn from this is that you're gonna be a parody if you keep lying like KingAzoulay does, and people don't believe him and they just make fun of him. They mock him just like in this video. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. It helps with the channel, and subscribe, leave a comment. Do you believe anything that KingAzoulay says? And let me know in the comments. And if you don't believe everything he says, what is one of your favorite stuff that he says that made you laugh? And now let's continue with the video.
Move on. King Solomon was also known for having 700 wives.
Yeah, that's another thing we have in common. Women love me.
Many of whom were young teenagers. Is there a correlation there?
I can't talk about that. The main thing that I have in common with all of the kings all over time is that I'm full of shit and everyone hates me. I'm a king because of what I've done. I've done everything. I was anti-terrorism. I was a bodyguard. I was a cage fighter, a telemarketer. I've been a millionaire. I've been homeless. I was in prison. I was a Buddhist monk. I was a samurai. I was an actor. I was an astronaut. I was a firefighter. I was a beekeeper. I was a mechanic. I was a working man. I was a spy. I was a hummingbird. I was a bank robber. I was a transporter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're just listing Jason Statham movies.
I love this. BenAzoulay in this video sounds just like the original BenAzoulay, but because he always says that he's done more than anybody, he outlives everybody. He done it all. He was a secret agent. He was all these different jobs, he says. He had a movie life pretty much because he's an actor. But you can go back to my KingAzoulay playlist and see a bunch of those lies. But this is a great parody of who KingAzoulay really is.
I can't talk about that.
Why can't you ever talk about the stuff you're already talking about?
I can't talk about that. I was Special Forces anti-terrorism for 10 years. I led many teams on many missions. One time during World War II, I had to lead a team behind enemy lines to save a soldier from my platoon.
Was his name by chance Private Ryan?
I can't talk about that. When I was 10 years old, the government experimented on me with gamma radiation. And then one time, my dad tried to hit me with a stick. And I got so angry that I started to grow and turn green. And my clothes ripped off of my body. And I went like that, and I broke the stick because I was so strong. When I was 15, I became an underground cage fighter. And also, I was a bodyguard. I was a bodyguard while I was a cage fighter.
All right, clearly making this up.
I love this. Sounds just like KingAzoulay saying, I can't talk about it, or whatever KingAzoulay says, I can't speak about it. Whatever he says, it's kind of like his catchphrase. He should make t-shirts of it. Then he's always trying to make his life like a movie, and I think this is what he tried to do. He tried to make his life like Jean-Claude Van Damme. He tried to make it like The Karate Kid and all these different movies. People are making comparisons of all the movies he's done. So, but the real thing is, it's like he's not trying to be real. I think that's why no one really bought what he was saying, is because he couldn't relate to the average person. So if you try to make yourself a lot better than other people, they're not going to look up to you, and they're just going to see you like not real. So it's like, why are they going to be friends with you if you're not going to be a real person? So one thing we can learn about this is just be yourself. Don't try to be someone else, and people will probably like you better.
Go, but for the sake of this interview, how is a 15-year-old going to protect anybody?
I can't talk about that. One time when I was 12, I was crawling through the sewer, and I accidentally crawled through some ooze, and I noticed that there was 4 turtles crawling through the ooze, and I rescued them, and I took them home, and I taught them martial arts, and I named them all after famous Renaissance painters, and they ended up making a movie about it.
So you mean to tell me that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is based on your life?
I can't talk about that. When I was 18, I was a millionaire, and I was also homeless, sleeping in the park, and I was also in prison.
Yeah, we got court documents that say you were throwing parties when you were 18, bro.
Yeah, but that was my parents' house.
Well, if you're living with your parents, then you're not homeless or in prison.
I can't talk about that.
I hope you all enjoyed this parody of KingAzoulay. It's similar to how the real KingAzoulay is. Yeah, Drew, HighFightIq, which is the channel I got this from, is referencing, and he makes a good comparison to the real KingAzoulay, and that's what people are doing now. They're making fun of him. They're making parodies of him, and because he's a joke now, him, Wes Watson, and a lot of the other alpha males, because they're unrelatable. They're just storytellers. They're trying to act like they're a big shot. They're trying to act like celebrities, but they're not, and they're just trying to grift and take people's money and put in their pockets, and they don't really care about other people. So I found this very hilarious in this video, but I hope you all enjoyed it, and we can all learn from this not to be fake, not to be a liar, and not to be a sex offender, because that's what started this whole thing. But that's what KingAzoulay is, and now everybody be your best, do your best. Don't try to copy these alpha males, because only you can control your narrative. And check out HighFightIq's channel, and check out his other videos in his library. And everybody, check out the video at the very end. It's a clip of the real KingAzoulay, and you'll see the difference between the real one and the parody. They're pretty much similar. So everybody, see you in the next video.
I told you I used to work in counterterrorism for over a decade. Remember that? When we talked?
A long time ago?
Yeah?
No.
Yeah. When we talked a year and a half ago, I told you I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade. So for me, I wasn't allowed to be even on social media or any of these things. And even today, I'm not allowed to even speak about what unit I was in, things like that, for the next 5 years. I can't share it with anybody. But
there's a lot of people out there that would say, now that's where I'm calling bullshit.
These units are called invisible units.
I'm not doubting you. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't care.
But if I were to question it, I would say, well, wait a minute. At 17, you were homeless. At 18, 19, you were cleaning carpets. Then you got into telemarketing. Then you went, then you started doing real estate and you started investing here and there. And that was only 10 years ago.
For? The Israeli army?
Well, it's Israel and the United States. You work with both.
That's the CIA.
That's because, no. Counterterrorism is a little bit different.
But you had to be with somebody.
Yeah, but can't talk about who I was with.
Hey.
But when you hold dual citizenship, when it's Israeli and American citizenship, I could do a lot of things that other people can't do. I go a lot of places that other people can't do. So, for example, I speak English like an American, so I could go places people don't know that I'm Israeli. You know what I mean? They won't really be different.
But like if you're American, I can tell that you're also something else.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell that you speak another language. Let's just say that.
I speak 5 languages.
But you speak great. You speak great English, obviously.
I speak 5 languages. I speak Hebrew,
fluently,
English, Russian, and Spanish, and one more that I can't speak about.